Hey guys, it's Martin. I'm back with another video. Let me just fix that. There we go. Back with another video. I hope you guys enjoyed the Final Four. I mean, shout out to Gonzaga. That was a crazy win. Great job. I mean, I loved that game. That was from start to finish easily a top 3 game that I've seen. Might be number 1. I mean, it just so much fun to watch. Congrats to UCLA for keeping it that close. If you watched my video from yesterday, I did one on each of the Final Four games. I thought that was going to be an 83-70 game, so I had Gonzaga winning by double digits. So shouts to UCLA for keeping it that close. Yeah, that was just a great game. I hope you guys enjoyed the Final Four as much as I did. Especially the second game. First one, not much of a game, but the second game was an instant classic. So I'll actually be doing 2 videos at minimum. Today's video is going to be on just breaking down some statistics, and tomorrow, which I can't wait for, is going to be matchups. That's going to be really fun. This one's going to be really fun too. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll get right into it. So as you know, these are the top 2 teams from the preseason AP poll, so it's pretty surprising that they're both here. Also, the top 2 seeds in the tournament. So you got number 1 seed Gonzaga versus number 1 seed Baylor. Gonzaga is 31-0 and Baylor is 27-2. So between the two of them, they don't lose a lot. Gonzaga will try to become the first undefeated national champion since the 70s. So it's been a while, and Baylor will try to win their 28th game and take down, one of the best teams that college basketball has ever known, in my opinion, and the Gonzaga Bulldogs. So, in terms of points allowed, Gonzaga allows 69.2, which is 141st. As for Baylor, they allow 65.3, which is 50th in the nation. So basically what you're going to see a lot with this is Gonzaga and Baylor, both pretty prolific offensively. Gonzaga's a little better, but Baylor is really a defensive powerhouse, whereas Gonzaga is not quite as good on the defensive end. So Baylor has the obvious advantage in points allowed. In terms of points per game, well, Gonzaga's first, 91.6. They're going to be a load to slow down, but so will Baylor. They average 82.8 points per game, good for 6th in the nation. So both teams are dynamic, and it's going to be really fun to see these matchups. You got Vital against Timmy. Butler maybe against Suggs. We'll get into that more tomorrow, but I mean, just both teams have 4 players who are just really good. And then field goal percentage wise, Baylor shooting 48.8%. That's 15th in the nation, and Gonzaga is shooting 55%, which is first. And then rebounds, Baylor grabs 38.8, which is good for 140th, and Gonzaga 40.1, that's good for 86th. So not a huge advantage there. Field goal percentage, obviously Gonzaga's a little better, but Baylor is shooting above 40% from 3, whereas Gonzaga is shooting above 60% from 2. So a little bit of conflicting styles. But Baylor has shown that they can win with their defense, as they did against Villanova in a 62-51 Sweet 16 victory. So they can beat you in a lot of different ways. So can Gonzaga. And then assists. So interestingly enough, I figured out yesterday that Gonzaga is one of the top teams in the nation. They average 18.8 assists, which is second. Baylor, though, they average 16.9, so both of these teams are good at sharing the ball, passing. So it'll be interesting to see how which team is able to rack up more assists and which team is able to get more turnovers, which is the next one. Steals, Baylor averaging 8.9, good for 10th. Gonzaga 8.1, which is 35th. So both good at turning you over, but Baylor does it more often in terms of stealing the ball. So like I mentioned earlier, it's really Baylor against Gonzaga. What you're looking at is you're looking at two great offensive teams, and then Baylor a little bit better on the defensive end. So in terms of points per game, I'm going to look at this in the tournament context too. Gonzaga obviously was in a really close game yesterday. We'll talk about how that might impact it tomorrow. In terms of points per game, impact them. In terms of points per game, 89.2 points per game for Gonzaga. And their opponents only 69.4. So they're still winning even after a 3-point game by an average of 19.8 points per game. That's ridiculous. I mean, but then you look at Baylor, they're averaging 75.2 and their opponents only 60. So they're winning by 15.2 on average. And fun fact, they have not won a tournament game by less than 9 points. That was against Arkansas, who I believe is the top team they've played thus far. No offense to Houston, but I think Arkansas is a little better offensively. But the scary thing for Baylor, and I wrote this down, is I don't think they've peaked offensively. Like, you saw them at their peak in the first half, but they didn't really need a great second half to beat Houston because they just ran away with it early. So that would scare me if I were Gonzaga. I think a lot of this is going to come down to which team can kind of stop some of the other team's stars. And definitely Baylor's defense is more poised to do so. But as of tonight, I'm leaning Baylor, but I'll give you a prediction tomorrow. So you'll have to wait for that. Make sure to check it out. That video will be up tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that one. Thanks so much for watching the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, turn on all notifications, the little notification bell, so you can get updates when I post more videos like I will be doing tomorrow. And let's root for a great national championship. It's been a tough 2020 into 2021. Everyone needs some good sports and some good analysis. I'm here to give that to you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.